Hey, hey, hey.
Hey,
Always good to be here on a Monday evening with our iCouch fam. What's good out there? Good to
hey,
see you.
everybody.
We welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome you. We're checking in with all of the platforms Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
What's
Come
good,
on.
LinkedIn fam? Several of you guys responded to my invitation
Oh,
saying, come on through. I sent the
okay,
invitation
cool.
out to maybe a few people,
Okay, okay.
maybe one or two or
10.
70. Uh, just a few. Just a few. We're excited to be here tonight, y'all. We took a little break last week.
We sure
Life
did.
happens. Life
Mm.
happens. You know what I'm saying?
There was a lot going on,
There was a lot
y'all.
going
Oh, my
on. And we
goodness.
were like, are we doing the show?
It's
No.
not going to happen.
No, we're not doing the show. We wanted to. We had every intention to.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, life was about to happen today too. It really was.
But we were like, no,
I
let's
was
do
like, nah,
this.
let's do
Gotta
it.
do
In
it.
fact, we gonna make it a little bit more chill. We're just gonna give you all a day in the life. Oh, my sister from another mister is on the live. What's going on, Danita?
Hey, hey,
I
hey.
feel like I haven't seen you in such a long time. Such a long
Yeah,
time haven't
sure.
seen you, even though we work together. And she
Mm-hmm.
may have hosted a new cooking show that we are in the middle of production right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you may actually see her in one of the pictures. I don't
I
know, from a
don't
day
know.
in the
You
life.
might
But
just.
it's good to have you with us. Let me put your comment on screen. Whoop whoop. She said she got the laughing emoji in there.
Good
Her
stuff.
pops
Good
stopped by
stuff.
the office today as
Oh,
well. Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's awesome.
He's
I
all
like him.
he pointed at me. He's like, "Hey, I think you know that guy." Hey, he's good people. He's good people. Equip Institute is on the live. That's Florence Donald. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We always
Mm-hmm.
appreciate when you come through and hang out with us.
Yes.
I'm telling you, we have nothing but fire. We got nothing
Mm-hmm.
but fire for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it
We
is.
are doing things a little different
A
this
little
episode, y'all.
different. We
A
want
little
so
different.
first of all, what do we normally say?
Incubators Couch is unscripted,
Unscripted, vulnerable
vulnerable
conversations
conversations
with
with
entrepreneurs
entrepreneurs
and
and
business
business
owners
owners
just
just
like
like
you.
you. So thank
Ding
you for
ding ding
tuning
ding ding
in.
ding.
First time ever after
Ding
what?
ding 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 ding. This is only like season
30
two, like
episodes.
I don't know, 30 something episodes. But she got it. That's actually not how I was gonna say, but I'm glad you said that because we did say that earlier, so we needed to get that in.
Mhm.
I was actually gonna say, tell the people what they need to be doing. There's 6 of them on the live
Okay,
already. You
so
haven't chimed in. We need to know where. Yeah, yeah.
yes, tell us what your business is, where it's located, and what do you do? What is it? Let us know in the chat.
Name, where you're located. What do you do? Who do you serve?
Hmm.
Talk to us. We want this in this space for you to be able to network. So there's 6 of you guys on the live right now. All 6 of you should all know what one another do. One time, like you should just
Hmm.
know.
Pretty
Oh yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I see Florence. I know what she does. I see Danita. I know what she does. I see Kanique in the chat. We know what she does. And we're gonna go first. So I've introduced. I want to hear you introduce
Okay,
composition.
fine.
Let me hear your
Sure.
BNI spiel. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No, I'm not doing that here. We are Composition LLC. We are a web design and live video agency.
Ooh, agency. I like agency.
That's what I use, unlike somebody over here. And we do web design. We create your website. We don't just create it, we also host it. You can also purchase your domains through us. And we do the maintenance, y'all. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. It is necessary. If you don't maintain your site, it can break at any moment if it's not already broken.
Yeah. I love everything she just said. And I want to say this, Deborah Brewer, we haven't seen you in a little bit.
Hi,
Thank you so much for
Deborah.
coming through. This is one of the OGs, like from the launch week. Deborah
Yes, for
Brewer has
real.
been rocking with us, and we're
Mhm.
excited. We want to make sure
Mhm.
that everybody gets to know who you are as well, Deborah. So please take a second and let people know in the chat. Just go ahead and this is
Mhm.
I'm Deborah Brewer. This is the name of my
Mhm.
business. We're located out of such and such, and this is who we serve. So
Mhm.
would love for you to be able to chime in. She shared with you the whole entire thing about composition.
Well, no, the web design side of the
Well,
business,
she said
and
live video
you
as
want to
well.
talk about what live video
Well,
entails?
I
Go
just have
ahead,
one or two
sir.
little things to share.
Make it one or two, please,
And
because
your
you've been
live
making it a
video,
lot.
your live stream is your digital storefront. Yeah. Your digital storefront. The storefront. I love that. I love that phrase.
In under 30 seconds.
In under 30 seconds. All right. Let me see if you can time me. But no, your live stream is your digital storefront. I really feel that for small businesses, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, for coaches, authors, consultants, one of the best ways to drastically decrease the buyer cycle, right? To get people from where they just are kicking the tires, where they're peeking in the window, to where they're like, no, I'm never buying from anybody else again. To drastically decrease that buyer cycle, one of the best ways to do that is live video marketing. And
Yep.
that's what we do.
Mhm.
We help people to utilize and leverage live video to be able to get their stuff out there. You want to go from unknown to known. You want to go from busy and broke to peaceful and paid. You want to go from being top of mind, tip of tongue to household name. You need to utilize content marketing, and one of the best forms of content marketing is live video, and that's kind of what I do. A
That's
live video
over 30
coach.
seconds.
Okay, all right, I'll leave it there.
But
let's
we
read.
already got some people in the chat.
Yes.
We've got Florence. Her hashtag, her tag, her name on YouTube is Equip Institute. And it says Donald Enterprises, productivity coaching for small business owners, corporate professionals, and faith-based leaders. And she's located in the DMV, and she works with clients virtually. So that means any and everywhere, y'all. So
the DMV.
if you need someone,
that's correct.
There you go.
That is correct. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We always appreciate you coming through. Man, listen, so we normally have a host rant, and we have a resource of the week, and then we have a therapy session. That's our normal, usual show, and we're going to get back to that. We promise.
Yeah.
But today we have a slightly different format. But I do want to at least just kind of give you a little bit of a host rant.
Oh, do you want me to start?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
One of the things. So this is two headed. This is two headed, right? So she's gonna give you a piece, but I just want to say this from a leadership perspective. One of the things I know that is an unfortunate truth as a leader. I produced a show for a guy named Pierre Quinn. His show was last night, and it's called Reflecting Forward, and he is a top tier leadership trainer and facilitator, and he just constantly going around the world. I mean, this guy was in Kuwait, this guy is in Australia, this guy is all over the place. And so I get a chance to produce his show. One of the things we were chatting about was psychological safety. That's just one of the top things that's needed.
That sounds good.
In your business, for your business to flourish and thrive. And he talked about the 4 components that were there. Great show. Definitely go check it out. But one of the components was challenger safety. Is it safe for your people to challenge you? Is it safe? Do your people feel comfortable? Have you fostered an environment where people feel comfortable to say, hey bro, hey sis, hey doc, hey mister, hey missus, that joint don't work.
Yes.
Like that don't work. Because depending on where you are and the levels you will arrive at and attain in business, when you're the CEO, when you've got the blood, sweat, and tears, you've got the scars to prove it, there are people who simply will not challenge you unless you foster an environment where you being challenged is explicitly stated to be okay. And so one of the rants that we want to share, without going into very much detail, because folk know folk around here.
Yes.
One of the things we want to share is that people, when you arrive at a certain level of leadership, you will always get a yes, when sometimes you should get a no.
I know.
Like the no is the answer, and you getting the yes creates a whirlwind
of issues,
of garbage,
waste of time.
And you sit and you wonder to yourself, like, so what? Why are we in this space? Why are we struggling like this? Well, you're struggling like this because you have not created an environment where you can get a no. And so as a leader, as an owner, as an entrepreneur, as a side hustler, as an incubator, I challenge you in our host rant today to create an environment where challengers are encouraged, that challengers are safe. All right, I'm done.
I'm trying to see how I can say this without saying too much. Okay. There is a product that's set to launch a specific day, and that product has to be sold in store online.
Yeah.
But
on a web store, which is where she comes in. Yes.
If there's things you need in order to calculate all the numbers when someone purchases that thing, right? They got to have the shipping information, which includes, the weight of the book and all that stuff to calculate the shipping properly, right? Mm-hmm. But there's an issue. That said product is not in hand. It's not here yet. It hasn't arrived. So how do we get that information, y'all, when it hasn't been provided ahead of time? It was decided to use some random other numbers. And what's the issue we're having now, after over maybe 100 purchases have been made, is stuff is not calculating correctly.
Yeah.
And now we're having to go back, take time to refund some of those things. Yeah. So how could have that been avoided?
See, my thing is, I would hate to arrive at a space as a business owner. I see you out there, Michael Flemings. As a business owner, I would hate to arrive at a place where we're literally backtracking. We're not working forward. We're actually working backward to be able to correct and so that we can actually launch forward. I would hate to know that we are in that scenario because no one was willing to give me the no.
Come on, this is ridiculous.
And that's the piece right there. This is a rant, but it's also a cautionary tale because I feel like, they say absolute power corrupts absolutely, right? Right. There's nothing that I was sitting and talking with a colleague of mine, and we were both complaining about our current president, who was the president of our place that we were working at the time. We both work for this president. And I have been this person's friend long enough to see him become president and start doing the exact same things that we complained about our president doing back in the day. Because absolute power corrupts absolutely. And here's the truth. You need to be mindful that because you are so used to getting the yes.
Yes, come on.
It doesn't mean you should. And unfortunately, the only person that can check that is you. The only person that can check is you. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Deborah Brewer says, I hate backtracking, but it happens. I want to do a quick shout out for Deborah Brewer as well. True. She shares that I'm Deborah Brewer. I'm a graphic and web designer. My company is Sunshine Creations by DB. We've seen her handle in the chat here as well. I serve small businesses, entrepreneurs, coaches, and more. I am from Florida. Well, Deborah, we just love having you with us. I'm so glad that you were able to share the name of your business, and I hope that others will do likewise.
Yes, put your stuff in the chat.
I see Danita's comment there as well. She says, what do I do? ? Sheesh. What day is it? Yeah. What day is it? Depending on the day, I might do something different. But Danita is a screenwriter. She is a columnist. She is a talent manager. She is a stage manager extraordinaire. And I've worked with her in pretty much every one of those capacities. My bio was written by Danita Jones. So
sure was.
Definitely, I would even dare say she's a copywriter, but I'm going to leave that. Maybe she hasn't figured out that that's part of her gifting. But I'm just going to place that on you, sis. That one's for free. But man, listen, we want to share with you guys a little bit about our week.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy.
Yeah. Are we going to dive in? Are we ready?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I don't know if this is right. I haven't tested any of this stuff. So, oh, look at that. It worked.
It's the right thing. Look at that.
So this is, I've got my glasses here just because it's really small. But I want to make sure. Yeah. I want to, here's the truth. As an entrepreneur, and this is the reason why we're doing this week, because I get this question all the time. I don't know about you, but I get this question all the time. And they're not just asking me, they're asking about both of us. And so I was like, I wanted to do this show almost for just be able to say, hey, just check out this episode. Because
pretty much
that's what a typical week looks like.
Because
they know that I'm, digital content specialist of Breath of Life, that I'm media pastor at Oakwood Church, that I have a YouTube channel, and I've got morning motivation, and I've got, coaching corner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a remote producer. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you have
It's
all
a
these
lot.
one-on-one sessions. It's like, when do you breathe? And I'm like, man, actually, everything has its own place. So I wanted to kind of go through this.
Okay.
And this first slide is all Kanique. So this is an organization that she has founded and is growing, incubating even.
Yeah, I would
Uh,
say incubating.
so definitely, time is over to you.
Okay,
What?
so this is Huntsville Black-owned businesses. It is a online directory slash resource for small business owners
Mm-hmm.
that they can go in, list their website, list their business for free.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know anything about web design, websites, SEO, any of that stuff, the more links to your website, the
The
better.
better.
Google starts to rank you higher.
That's
So
right.
listing in a directory is a great idea because it will help you. So that's what we provide, and we provide it for free to businesses for them to just go on there. And we also have a space on there where we feature different businesses. We share it on our social media platforms, and we also have a section just for grants because, as you know, there are tons of grants available to small businesses, and we want to make it a one spot where people can just go and see, okay, what's the latest grants that are available that I can apply for. It has been growing, and we're very excited about that. We had our third event this past Thursday evening. It was like a business mixer slash dinner where we had business owners come and we just sat and got to know each other a lot better.
Was good.
A more intimate atmosphere. And, we were able to have dinner at Hammerheads. If you've not been to Hammerheads, you got to go. It's a Black-owned restaurant, and they have some really great things coming in store in partnership with us, and we're super excited about that. And more about that is to come. But another great thing I want to mention is one of our businesses won a grant not last week, but maybe a week or so ago, and we shouted her out. She won a 10K grant, y'all.
Come on.
And I am just so excited about that. I love when businesses flourish, and that's the whole purpose of HBB, to help businesses grow, flourish, and win, because she won, and I'm excited about that. So that's just a little bit about us. We've been around for about 3 years now, and it is growing. Our followers are over 1,300 on Facebook. On Instagram, it's almost at 600. And we're hoping to take over Huntsville by storm. So if you're not following us and you're in Huntsville, please follow us, find us, and tune into what's going on here in Huntsville.
Yeah. If I often tell people, right? I often tell people that Kanique is actually just as talkative as I am, but they don't believe me, because she completely misunderstood the assignment. We're just supposed to be talking about this week. She has gave you the full history of Huntsville Black-owned businesses and did a full
I can't
spiel
just
and
have a little
did a
thing.
whole shout out and the
I
whole
have
promo.
to.
But this week, the thing that happened this week is what's on the screen, which is the mixer, the dinner, and of course, even though she won a week or so ago, the shout out happened in the group this week. And those are some of the types of things that we have to do.
Excited.
And the reason why it's on the screen, again, I'm just making sure she understands the assignment, because there are more slides. Because everything you see on the screen are things that have to be done.
It has to be done, y'all.
Do you now see the relevance
okay,
of
Okay, fine.
She actually had to get with Hammerheads.
But I have to explain what it is, though. But I get what you're saying. She had to
get with Hammerheads to be able to set up the networking.
Yeah, you do.
You had to create the event in the group. You had to have people RSVP.
You have to advertise. You have to give shout outs. You have to post on the side, on the social media platforms.
This is all time.
All the things.
These are all time. And my question to you is, and this is the reason why I put this slide together, how do you package that? Where does this kind of work fit in your day, in your week?
Oh man.
I mean, how do you structure it? Because it has to happen in a certain interval in order for people to know about the information.
Oh, definitely. At least once a day, I tap in to see what's going on. How can I share something? And it's just quickly once a day, maybe around noon, I tap in. What's going on? What can I share?
And that's it. Yeah. And to me, that's the cheat code for many people. It's because, to be clear, she's not in there all day, every day, just looking at, let me respond. No.
For that.
She has a particular time in the day where she goes and checks in. She knows where her campaigns are for this month, for this week, for next month. Probably that's about as far into the future as we would go. Here's the thing, and this is what I want you to catch. She's sensitive, meaning if something pops up like this grant,
Yeah.
she's like, "Ooh,
Ooh, gotta share that.
I need to post that into the group." Are
Gotta
you
shout
seeing?
it out.
So it's twofold. It's everything has its place. I love your comment, Florence. That's the answer. Everything has its own place in space. Everything has its
Mm-hmm.
place. So she may check in at certain times, but there's a sensitivity. It's like your
Mm-hmm.
spidey senses are heightened. So as you're walking around, as you're just doing life, something may come up and you're like, oh, boom, that's
Mm-hmm.
over here. Let me grab that. Let me do this real quick. Dun, 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 dun.
Mm-hmm. And put it
You
down.
button that thing up and you go back to what you're doing. And that is to me, that's the entrepreneur's life in a
Mm-hmm.
nutshell. Have mercy. Let's move. Let's move. Let's move. There are two emails on the screen. I don't know if you're going to be able to read either of them, but I'll tell you what the email on the right. The email on the right is from Shure. Shure is an audio brand, probably one of the most well recognized audio brands in the industry. Period. Point blank.
Mm-hmm.
End of story. If you've ever used a microphone, you've probably used the Shure SM58. It is literally the
Yep.
icon for a microphone.
Yeah.
Like when people write the icon, that's the mic.
Mm-hmm.
So Shure is one of the. I'm a brand ambassador for Shure, and they have chosen 10 influencers from across North America to come to their headquarters for what they're calling their brand influencer program. They've only chosen 10. And your boy Kirk Nugent has been chosen and selected to to be part of that number, and I'm super excited about it. And again, people ask the question, how in the world do you use what brand as well? How do you fit that in? If we could pan the camera this way, I've said this to you before. If you could just look right here,
It's a
you
bunch
would
of
see
stuff
a
over
whole
there.
bunch of boxes of things that have been. It's you fit it in where it fits in. You
Yeah.
One of the things I say to people about, especially anything influencer marketing related, anything live shopping, it you when you are just utilizing it or you share from a very natural place, like this is how I use this thing, this is the
Mm-hmm.
problem I had, this is the thing that I found to solve this problem, this is how I applied it,
Yeah.
and this is how it's working for me now, and now the problem is gone. That little cycle that I just described,
Mm-hmm.
that's the live shopping experience secret sauce. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's what I use, that's what I apply. And when I use that, things like this happen. Things like where they're like, man, you just so naturally just said, oh, just grab a Shure mic. And the guy's just like, wait, I didn't even know this was like a whole recommendation thing. I'm like, no, I wasn't. It's not a matter of me trying to get anybody to buy anything. I'm helping them solve a problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Solving problems comes in the form of either software or hardware or some kind of advice. And
Mm-hmm.
so even when we share with you guys resources of the week, a lot of the times they're free because we try to do
Yeah. We
that
try to do
here.
it free.
But many times, like Canva, for instance, get the paid plan.
Yeah.
That'll solve a lot of your problems. It's not
For
because
real.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to get you to get it so that I can get money. I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, it'll solve a lot of your problems.
Pretty
You're
much.
looking
Yeah.
for stock photos and videos, get Canva.
You
It'll
trying to
solve a
get
lot of
that
your problems.
transparency on that image? Go ahead and
Get
get
Canva.
Canva.
It'll solve a lot of your problems. And so
Shoot.
it's simply from that perspective. The other
Mm-hmm.
email that's on the screen is from a contact of mine in New Zealand asking me or officially inviting me to be a speaker at one of their conferences later this year. And I'm super excited about that as well. Because even though I don't do as much speaking, that's a whole thing that I really love doing,
Yeah.
as you can tell. I love to speak.
Mm.
And so I'm excited about being able to share that. This is some of the things that happened to us in the week this week. And
I'm telling y'all, it was crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
here's another set of pictures.
So I'm telling y'all, if you are not involved with your chamber,
Chamber of Commerce.
get involved because the
Yes.
Chamber of Commerce,
Yes.
and we've talked about it before, they are amazing here in Huntsville. Like
Well,
they are
yeah.
doing above and beyond.
I wonder, I don't know. Put it in the chat. Let us know how, if you have interacted or interfaced with your Chamber of Commerce, let us know how that experience has been,
Yeah.
because I'm curious if it's a small town thing. I know
Yeah.
Huntsville is not the biggest city.
hmm
I don't know what
What other
experience
chambers
is.
are doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they are really doing some really great things. And last week they had the mayor actually come through and talk to us for like
Yeah.
40 minutes. And
Yeah.
that was really good because he just
Boom, boom, boom,
gave
boom,
a
boom.
backdrop on everything that's going on in Huntsville that you might see in the news, but he really just gave you behind the scenes of what's happening and what's to come. And that was awesome.
Yeah.
So as an entrepreneur, there are different events that are going on that you might want to get involved in. So if you have a chamber and they have a website, just go on that events page and pick out those events that would be beneficial for you personally or for your business, because there's some really great stuff
So
that
how do you
happens
incorporate that into your week?
into my week.
Yeah. So
As soon as I get that email that we need to register for that event, I register immediately. I do it and I forget about it, because they do it like a month ahead of time.
Yes, they do.
So you drop it on your calendar and it's automatically blocked off. So nothing else can be scheduled in that time frame.
Yeah. Now say that one more time, because see, this is the point. I want people to understand how it all works. I know this is not that show, but I still want you to understand how it all works, because that's what people are saying. I don't necessarily have time to be in the chamber. So how do you? Because you're managing a company, you're bringing projects to delivery. You're interfacing with your team. There's so many other things that you're doing. Where does this fit in your priorities? How does somebody juggle something like a Chamber of Commerce meeting? Because this isn't even the regular one, to be clear. She's a part of the ambassador, which is like a whole other level. And they meet regularly. So how and there's another slide coming up where there's a ribbon cutting and stuff. Go continue. How do you balance that thing?
You just kind of have to figure out what your day is going to look like, and I do it ahead of time, so I know, okay, this is happening these days. I need to make sure that those days I have put aside enough time for me to accomplish the different tasks that I have in my week. If I have a project deadline coming up, then I'm like, I can't go to any ribbon cuttings this week. If I have freedom, then I'm like, okay, I can go to this one or this one or this one. But that's what you have to do. You have to kind of see what your week is looking like. And I try to do that at least a week ahead. Look for the week ahead and see, okay, what's happening? Do I have time to do this? Okay, no, I have to put this on the burner. You have to kind of juggle things. So,
and the thing I want to say here, even as we get ready to move, is if you know, let me just be clear, y'all. Let me give you a tip, a little pointer. If you look at your week and you're like, man, I'm really busy, and then you see on your calendar that the mayor of the city is going to speak at the ambassador meeting, you go to that meeting.
You go to that meeting.
You go to that one. And you follow him outside and you say, hey, let me get a selfie. I'm telling you what to do.
You're silly.
Do it. Because the picture is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, it is pretty
This is not a group shot. She's got a one-on-one picture with the mayor of Huntsville. Somebody sees that, they're like, golly, Kanique's network is ridiculous. And I'm telling you, this is what's happening. So it's twofold. Yes, look ahead. Plan ahead. Look at it ahead of time. Understand what your week looks like. And we're going to get into some kid stuff here in a little bit. Y'all going to be like, oh, snap, that's dang. Yeah, it's there. This is all part of the week. We won't even get into, what we did this past Sabbath afternoon. Just went for a little walk. We won't get into all that. But my point is, even as you look ahead, you're prioritizing.
Yeah.
What do you want your week to look like? And I think that's the thing. Florence says it in the chat. 1,440 minutes. We all get the same.
We all get the same.
We get the same amount. And what you get to decide to do with it. Don't let life happen. Take it by the horns. All right. Yes. Let me move. Both of the flyers on the right and left of the picture are flyers that we did for a particular client. Because we have designers on team here at Composition. And so this is a client who I'm constantly churning out flyers for this client. And you can see that neither of these items have actually happened. They're both to come. We just delivered these flyers to him within the last week. The picture in the middle, however, is a picture of an open house that we had at one of my jobs.
You got to see her.
Yeah.
Got to see her.
Do you know that her son is the one that prays? The prayer guy?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's her son? Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy. They both walked into the studio for the tour, and I was just like,
oh, my goodness.
Why are you together?
That is amazing. Don't mind us.
I'm so sorry. That was just one of those. I had to share that. But again, it's one of those things where you just kind of structure the week. You look at it, you I have set things in place for automation. Somebody pays for an hour of graphic design. They fill out the form. The form automatically emails to the team. I do the spot check. I do the first round of revisions. We put it in frame. We send it to the client. The client actually puts their comments and questions in. We do that second round of revisions. We then deliver said product to the client. That thing is so well oiled now that it becomes second nature. It takes very little time because of the time we've taken to make sure that it's fine tuned
and put that process in place. So you've got to find hacks on how you can automate as much of your stuff as possible.
Yeah.
Because hey, we all have a limited amount of time. Got to use it well.
Yeah, and here we go. These are yellow hats. When was this?
This was on Friday morning.
This is Friday. I want y'all to understand that I'm not talking about like months and months ago. I'm talking about stuff that's right now, like within this week. Okay, Friday morning. What were you doing here? No, let me not say what we were doing here. This is BNI. We've talked about BNI before. We've talked about it being in networking, but why was this particular one important, and why did it make the cut to be on your calendar for this particular week?
And I give credit to BNI because they knew this event was coming. So all chapters canceled their usual meetings because I typically go on Thursday. So it was canceled. So now we have Friday where they're like, okay, everyone come to this meeting on Friday. All the chapters in the area, and I believe it's 47 in Northern Alabama, that came together, had people come in, check out the different chapters and network and eat food and just expand your network. That really was what it was. Because for a lot of visitors that I invited, I said, just come. You never know where you're going to get that connection or that next business.
Yeah.
And for some, they did get the business, y'all.
Right there on the spot.
Hey.
Don't miss that. Don't miss that. I asked a guy recently, how much time are you spending on advertising? And he's like, yeah, he couldn't answer. He gave me an answer, but after we went back and forth, he couldn't answer. And the reason why he couldn't answer is because he had never defined what advertising is. And what she did on Friday is advertising for composition. There are people who know, like, if I show up and say, hey, Kirk Nugent from Composition. Oh, I know Composition. I was at the Big Breakfast and I saw that recognition when somebody can be like, oh, I remember I met somebody from Composition. That recognition, that's worth its weight in gold. So even as you look at the week, it's like, oh no, this is never going to come off, especially since they've already helped you to load balance by taking away the regular meeting that you had to go to on that week. So good things. These are all productions. I do a production on Sabbath, Saturday. That's Saturday to everybody else. Sabbath to those who understand. But do a production every Saturday for church, and that's in the bottom left. Top left is a workout series that we're producing right now.
That's so cool.
That picture was taken yesterday.
Actually.
I'm not talking about some far off stuff. Danita, if you're gone, maybe you're gone, but that bottom right one is actually a picture of Danita doing her thing. I call it digital butlering because we are basically hosting a show, but we're not quite on the show. We're just kind of hosting the show. We do all the segues and things like that, and so we just kind of film them. And we had to film a couple of those last week. And then the one at the top is a client project. We're filming a course, 12 modules, 30, 40 minutes a piece. The client found a location, sent me pictures. I said, I think we can make this work. And boom, we went in there. We knocked them out over a 2-day period. And I think that's going to be a really cool project.
Nice.
In fact, that client just sent the final payment.
Yes, they did. Hallelujah. So I need to get started on my side of the project. That's what that means.
We are, and that's a client. That particular client actually spans both sides of the business. So we're doing I'm actually producing the course. She's actually building the course into their website. So
he's creating the
video. You see what I'm talking about? Like it's the flow of it. It's not hectic. It's not haphazard. You put everything in its place, in its box. I don't complain about having to do a production every Sabbath because I already know that it's there. I've automated it. It's a part of my week. It's a part of my routine.
Yeah.
My team knows that I'm going to be checking in with them. There's
Mm-hmm.
just so many things that already naturally happen that we don't necessarily have to be
True.
kicking ourselves or tripping
Mm-hmm.
over ourselves trying to figure out how we're going to make this work.
Yeah, and
It
he
just
set up
works.
a team in place, and that team has a schedule,
Yes,
y'all.
they do.
So that just makes it
Yes, they
real
do.
easy. Like,
Yes, they
hey,
do.
you are on duty, you show up, you produce it, and he's just managing
Yeah.
everything else. So,
And there are many weeks where I'm like that picture that you see on the screen there. I took that picture because I was free. I
mhm.
wasn't producing. I wasn't posting. I wasn't running sound. I wasn't running camera. I was completely free. But those are the things that I want to share in terms of the week. Here are two more. On the right side of
Yeah,
the screen, that's me at BNI a Friday ago, no, Thursday ago, actually
presenting
presenting on behalf of Composition.
composition. Yes,
And then on the other side, there is
a ribbon cutting, and it was really cool. Another business that is also in the videography field. So we made some really good connections. So
Mhm, mhm.
gotta love the ribbon cuttings because that opens the door for collaboration,
Yep,
expanding your network, and
yep,
meeting new people.
yep.
So
If
go to
you
the
can go,
ribbon cuttings if you can. Definitely.
if you can go to, that's the ultimate cheat code. If you can go to a ribbon cutting, you're always going to be in those pictures. You're
Mm-hmm.
always
Exactly.
that
Yep.
business will always remember like this person took time out of their schedule to come and be here for my ribbon
Yes.
cutting. Nobody wants a dry ribbon cutting with like two
I was
people
gonna
standing
say, I
around.
just want to say about ribbon cuttings, like they are not gonna tell you no. There's only a few that yes, there are some that are private, but majority, if it's on the chamber website, they want people to come. They want that thing to be packed.
Packed.
And they're going to want you to be there. And you can make some really great connections. For example,
There's
I
the
know a
intro.
photographer here in Huntsville. He goes to ribbon cuttings. Why? Because he can take pictures, create a post, tag them up, and they're like, oh, look at these. These are
Oh, these are
nice.
nice.
Maybe he can do our headshots. Like, there's so many
Boom.
opportunities of how you can possibly get business just from going to ribbon cuttings, and they are free and they are available for you to go. So
Yeah.
take advantage of those if you can, or if you're trying to figure out how else can I expand my reach and get more business.
And then for us, I mean, when somebody's doing a ribbon cutting, sometimes they have a website, sometimes they don't.
And usually you can
Boom.
just go on the chamber and click that name of whoever is doing the ribbon cutting and see their website. And then, kind of reach out like, hey, I was at your ribbon cutting, blah, blah,
No,
blah.
just
You
want to
never
let you know
know.
this is the stuff, you know.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
offer
yeah,
this
yeah.
service,
I noticed that
guys.
I noticed that the pictures from the ribbon cutting are not on your website yet. Do you have somebody that maintains
Yes.
that for
Come
you?
on. There's ways, y'all. There's
Th-
opportunities.
This is I just want you to be thinking. This is what the week looks like, and when you get into a rhythm, you don't have to think about it as much.
Yeah.
When I talk about being sensitive, that's what I mean.
Hmm.
You get into a rhythm. This is a screen that I love because it's like
I don't know. I'm like, why did you put
feast
that in
and
there?
famine.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like the one that's being covered by us actually are overdue invoices. And I purposely did not show anybody's names,
Overdue.
but those are overdue invoices. This is what a week looks like. No, no, no.
No,
I,
for
I
real
want to be. I want
though.
to keep it a stack. Like
For
people,
real.
some people will not be as honest and open with you as we're being right now.
Yeah.
There are overdue invoices.
Yeah.
There are projects that we don't even know if they'll ever close. Like real talk, I don't know if they're ever
Crickets. You
crickets.
don't
I
hear
have
from
not
the
heard from them.
person. Like,
Yeah.
hello.
And then there are other projects where they just pay, and you're just like, "Holla
Holla
glory, we
glory.
love you," and that's the
Yes.
real deal.
Yeah.
And then
The
we're parents,
family. Yes, we are.
and we have a little girl. No, I shouldn't say little girl. A young lady,
Young lady. Yeah.
whose birthday is coming up. Super
Yeah.
excited about that.
In
And
exactly 1 week.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
1 week.
she is a track star. No, I mean to me, she's
She's
always been a
she's a
track
track
star.
star.
But yeah, we find time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to miss her track meets. This
Gotta
track meet
love it.
was on Friday at like 1 p.m.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't have to miss it.
Yeah.
I don't have to miss track meets.
We were there.
I don't have to miss
It was
those.
really
She's got a
cool.
track meet this coming Thursday. Carson has a meeting at this other school.
Yeah.
We don't have to miss those.
Yeah. We will be there.
We will be at those things. Why? Because that's part of the week.
We have that freedom.
Yeah, we have that freedom. We have that latitude in
Yeah.
the schedule to be able to do these things. Carson, this is the meeting he has on Thursday
Yeah.
is to go to this school.
Because he was
because he
accepted.
was
So that's
accepted.
what that meeting is
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I guess a celebration meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We're super excited about it,
Yeah.
regardless. But um, somebody even said to me when these posts made their way through social media, "Oh man, that's so dope that they make those posts for accepted students." I was like,
No.
"No, no, 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 no,
No.
no,
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 sir.
no. You will
No.
not see these posts for any
No.
other student.
No.
We made
We
these
created
posts.
them.
We created these posts to be able to share." On social media because we're so proud of him. And how does that fit into the week? How do you have time to create a whole graphic for your son? If I can find time to create graphic for a
We will
client, I will
find
find time
time.
to create a graphic for my son.
Yes, we will.
If I have to create a thumbnail for a last minute live stream that the client totally forgot about, I can create a thumbnail. I can create a graphic. I can create an Instagram post for my son who just got accepted to a
Yes.
premier institution that took almost a year in the making in terms of
Pretty
applying
much.
to get into that
Oh my
joint.
gosh.
So again, it's these are the types of things that make up the week. These are the types of things that make up the week. These are the types of things that make up the week. It doesn't. This show doesn't have to be eternal for it to be effective. I just
Yeah.
want y'all to get a window into our week. That picture you see on the screen of the two of us, it's a nice picture.
I know.
Ah.
Not bad. Is that the Android or is that the iPhone?
I don't know. I think that's the iPhone.
I think that's my phone.
No,
It's the Android, y'all. It's the Android.
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. But the Android is a better camera. Period. Point blank. End of story. That's not even a question. But the thing that I love is this was just dropped in our lap. This wasn't even. This was this past Saturday night.
Kids
The
are
kids
gone.
had something to do at church.
Yay.
Completely unplanned.
Yeah, it wasn't a plan.
So we dropped them off, came back home, and we went for a walk around
it
our
was
own
nice.
neighborhood. This lake is
Yeah.
in our neighborhood, and we don't get to walk around it that often, but we did, and we enjoyed
It
it.
was nice.
We enjoyed it. People say, I mean, I quite literally, people say to me, I don't even know how you sleep because you just have to be so busy. Actually, no, no. I get up in the morning. I have my worship. Spend time. I linger. I linger in the presence. Okay, I spend time in worship. I come up. I leave worship, go and work out. At least 20 to 25 minutes, if not 30. I sometimes have to run from the workout up to this room
to
to
your
do my
show.
morning motivation show, which I'll probably have to do tomorrow. We're doing that show twice a week now. Was doing it 4 times a week, but we cut it down because we're getting ready to roll out another show next week, which will take up all the other days of the the week. But the idea is, I do that show. I am able to go take the kids to school.
Yeah.
Head to work if I need to go to work. If I come back home, if I got to come back home, sometimes I wash the car. Sometimes I listen to the Bible in the car as I drive. I want to say what I want to say to folks. I am not frantically running from one event to the next to the next. I've padded my schedule. I've created space for me to breathe, for me to think, for me to innovate, for me to live. And that is what a typical week looks like for entrepreneurs. What you got?
I think the main thing is having a schedule, and like you said, make sure you have the patterns in there because you never know what can happen. But you've got to stick to that schedule. You can have it, but also stick to it. And that is very important because if you don't stick to it, then you're not going to get what you need accomplished in that day. So definitely have your schedule and stick to it. And I think that's what helps you and I to really get through each week and stay on top of stuff. So
yeah, I love it. And I would not change a thing. I would not change a thing. So many people are, oh brother, you guys are dying. You go, oh man, I don't know how you guys live. Do you have time to close your eyes? Do you have time to shower? One person said. I'm like, yeah. Actually, you'd be surprised how much time I have.
You have more time than you think.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize just how much time they take doing things that you probably don't have to do. Like literally, I will pick up my phone and half hour later, like, oh crap, what? Oh, where did the time go?
Yeah.
Like you've got to be mindful
Yeah.
of what you're spending time on.
Yeah. Real talk. I
For
I
real.
I removed Facebook and Instagram from my phones, plural. So I only hit them on the laptop now.
That thing is a hogger, y'all.
It will hog your
It
time.
will hog your time.
So those with those gone, those
Yeah.
notifications don't hit.
The distractions,
People
y'all.
will
The
text me a link, and
distractions. Yeah.
I can't even open the joint because I don't have the app on my phone anymore. So it really, those things are the eaters of time. But it's not because the entrepreneurs, timeline or their week is just so ridiculously busy. And to be clear, I mean, I do like to be busy. I don't like to have nothing on the calendar. I don't like that. As an entrepreneur, I need to have something on the calendar. I need to have a coaching session. I need to have a live show. Because if I'm not working with a client, then I need to be working on getting a client.
Oh
Oh
gotta be
my
doing
gosh, I
something.
hope somebody heard me today. If I'm not working with a client, I need to be working on getting a client.
Yes. Yes.
And what people don't recognize is that my live shows get me more clients.
That's true.
So it's like, man, you're live. You go live.
But
Yep.
it works.
I'm live today, right now. I'll be live tomorrow for morning motivation. I'll be live on Wednesday for Coaching Corner. I'll be live on Thursday for morning motivation. I don't think I'll be live on Friday. But I normally chill on Fridays. But there will be there's a couple of Fridays that I'll be live for my workplace.
Okay.
Fourth Fridays, but live every Saturday. And then I have a stream show on Sundays and a client show on Sundays. So there's always something. There's always something. And a lot of my client shows, even when I'm producing them, they want me to interject. They want me to be in the comment section. And that, again, further doubles down that visibility and allows people to see, like, oh, snap, that's who's producing his show. I need to come produce mine. We had a guy, we did a launch for this same client that I do on Sundays. We launched his website. Somebody saw the launch and hit her up. Was like, I really like what you did for him. So fix my site. So these are the things that yeah. The activities are fun. And so when they're fun, yes, I still know how they fit into the grand scheme of things in terms of strategy to be able to bring in more clients so that we can increase our stature, increase our client load, stuff like that. But because they're fun, I don't mind doing them.
Yeah. I'm actually enjoying these last couple of projects I'm working on. I'm like, yay, these are great. And there's some projects that is just like frustrating, but I do love them all. But I'm really enjoying this one that I'm working on right now. So
it's a good stem. So listen, all right, we're gonna open it up. 6 of you guys are on the live. Any questions? We shared with you our entire one, week, and it was a really good week in terms of the different aspects, different things that we have. You drop off kids in the morning, pick them up in the afternoon, after school activities, all that stuff is there as well. They're part of Pathfinders, which is kind of like a Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts kind of a deal. So we have to go to things like that. Carson has Kung Fu. Kenzie's in track.
she has
there are different things
every single day.
Yeah, that track team, and they want her to run. Even though she's JV, they want her to run varsity, which I'm kind of proud of. Hey, I was a runner back in the day. Not now, but I was a runner back in the day. I hate running now. Kanique was trying to get me to run.
I'm like, let's go. Nah. Not even fast running, a jog.
No, I'm good. I would walk it, but I ain't really not doing it. Yeah, I want to see what are your comments in the chat. All right, let me see what we got here. Deborah Brewer says, I hate backtracking, but it happens. This is so true. Florence says, that's the answer. Everything has its own place and space. Process is a sanity saver.
It really is.
It's a sanity saver.
It really is.
Totally agree with you on that one, sis. Not having a process. Well, I don't know. And I'm told that people who are not process oriented have other ways that, like, because for me, it's Zen. I'm just, there it goes like this. And then
so how do they?
I have no idea. I'm just told that people who are not process oriented, they have other ways that they feel,
Okay.
I don't know what they are, but
I don't know what it
I'm
is.
told that there are people out there who are not process oriented, and for them,
Well, yeah, they're not process oriented, but they still have to do a process though.
I don't know, because I mean,
How do they
uh,
survive?
if
I
you're
don't
not
know.
if you're
Okay.
not process oriented, you can't even work at McDonald's, doc. I mean,
Oh my God,
it's
you
all
know,
two all beef
you
patties,
gotta do
special
the
sauce,
different
lettuce, cheese,
things.
pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. It's a process. You gotta
Mm.
do the process. Up, down, left, right, A, B, start. It's a process. So I don't understand. Even in playing games, it's a process.
We don't know.
There's a code to it. So
We
I don't
don't
know.
know.
I
Maybe
don't know. But
someone can tell
I
us. I
totally
don't know.
agree with you. Equip Institute process is a sanity saver. And then her last comment: wonderful for both of the young Nugent stars. I love that.
Yeah, we're proud of
We're
them.
really proud of them. They're the best kids on the planet, but don't tell them that we said that. We don't want it to get to their heads. We want them to know that they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
They are, though. They really are.
Yeah.
But fam, listen, we're not going to stand before you long, as they say. That's our week in a nutshell, and I hope that it's meaningful for you. Hope that that gives you a window in as incubators. One of the things I think I've said it on the show as we interview guests
Mm-hmm.
from time to time. People don't do enough reflection. We don't
True.
reflect enough.
Yeah.
One of the things that even as I study high performing individuals, as I study leaders whose net worth is where I would like to be, right? I recognize that they do a lot of
Yes, they
reflection.
do.
They do a lot of reflection, and they
Mm-hmm.
come up with these very well thought out positions
Mm-hmm.
and conclusions. And you're like, man, how long did it take you to come up with that? It's because they are students of
Yes.
reflection.
Mm-hmm.
They reflect on how things have gone, reflect on how things might go,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not just leaving life to just happen
No.
as it were. They are taking that thing by the horns.
Mm-hmm.
They're making it happen. That thing has just been a recurring theme I've seen over and over again. And so I just, as we look at the week, incubators, as you look at what we've shared in terms of what our week looks like,
Mm-hmm.
man, listen, I'll tell you one thing: there's room for improvement. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
It,
Nothing is perfect,
nothing is
y'all.
perfect.
It has its
There's,
struggles,
yeah.
its ups and
Yeah.
downs.
Are
Yeah.
there days where I feel tired? Yes.
Oh yes.
Are there days, and it's strictly my fault.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the world did I stay up till 2 last night? I have no idea.
Exactly.
I don't know what I was
Stuff
doing.
like
I
that.
don't know why I was up. Scheduling live streams and whatnot. I
Yeah.
don't know what I was doing, but these are. But I was outside of process. I was outside, and now I reflect, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm going to bed early tonight.
Gotta change that.
I gotta,
Gotta figure
yeah,
that out.
I gotta figure that out.
But
I
yeah.
gotta figure that out. And you gotta figure out how you work, how you tick, what
Mm-hmm.
makes you go, and be it. Like I say, earn a PhD in you. Those are the things that allow you to bring your best self to the table.
Yeah.
The stuff that they ain't gonna get that anywhere else because it's strictly a you thing. And that is what keeps clients coming back.
True.
Or that's what allows you to find your perfect person and repel the people you don't want. Be clear on
Come
that.
on.
Yeah,
I need that in my life.
you want to repel. Hallelujah for some repel.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the pieces we wanted to leave with you tonight. That's the reason for this particular show and this particular episode. Like we said, we're gonna get back into the regular rhythm of things, but we think that this was meaningful. 7 of you
Yeah.
guys are on the live. There's 7 people.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
I mean, I like the interaction. I want to see some of your comments. I don't know where y'all at. Let me
But
make sure I'm
anyway,
not missing any.
we can wrap it up. We don't want to keep y'all too much longer.
No. It's a good time to
But
land. It's a good time to land. But
that's it.
that's it.
That's our life in the past week or so.
Mhm.
And we hope you learned something from what we shared today.
We hope so. It's fun, y'all. Listen, entrepreneur life, you got to be able to laugh. Don't make it so serious. Sometimes we got to laugh.
Yeah.
But anyway, Incubators Couch is unscripted, vulnerable conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners just like
Just
you.
like you.
And we hope that somewhere in the show today, somewhere as we kind of walk through what our week looks like, what a typical week is for an entrepreneur couple, People often ask, how does it work for you two to both be in business together?
Yeah.
And it's a delicate balance. We've had to figure out some things, but I will say there's a lot of fun. And I think life is what you make of it. So hope that it was meaningful for you. And we will see you next week, same time, same channel. Be blessed, fam.